Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Jean Bart. And we are probably going to be more patient than you've ever seen me play. Now normally, you guys know me, I'm usually the hyper-aggressive player that goes in like a crazy person and somehow manages to pull it off despite being one of the worst players in the player base according to so many out there. But today we have a lesson in patience. And we spawn middle of the map. And this map in particular is kind of an awkward one to spawn middle on. Because you have to make a decision. Or do you? Now, a lot of people would be like, what do you mean you got to make a decision? Every map, you got to make a decision, Spartan. What would it be? Enlighten us. Okay, I got you. Well, first of all, when you spawn mid on this map, there is one island that kind of separates left from right. And that is the one directly in front of me that I'm currently making the decision to go left on. Now, why would I choose left here than right? Well, if you look to the right, I have two cruisers and a battleship there. They are not likely to just YOLO in, right? They're probably going to go to that corner and sit. So we're not likely to get as many shots off over there. Our destroyer is going mid and has already spotted one battleship heading to the left. So by putting ourselves in position here, we can potentially help take some attention off of our left flank. And oh my god, hello Pazarski. What are you doing, sunshine? You can't do this. Do you know what ship you're in? I don't think you do. Bonk. Down goes 15,000 of his hit points. Mans is lucky to get away with just 15k. Alright? Let's just not get that to... Oh my god, he's not. He is. He's actually gonna do the thing. Well, we got one shot off. I don't know if it tracked. I think it did, but it looks pretty solid. And... boop. This is what happens when you do goof things. Okay, you're in a light cruiser, and you're pulling up broadside in front of God and everybody at the beginning of the match, being the first thing spotted. That is not going to end well. I don't care if you have a smoke screen or not. Now, what you'll see next is we have a cruiser on the backside of an island, and a smoke... well, not in a smoke screen. It's the cruiser that we just killed smoke screen. There's a cruiser on the backside of an island over there, and there's a battleship over there, and it's a Monarch. Okay? What do we know about the Roma and the Monarch? They're both tanky as crap, if handled correctly. And in this situation, it's going to be difficult for me to get a lot of damage, especially given that I am not an accuracy build Jean Bart. I am a, well, what do you reload build Jean Bart. You guys know the build by now, I'm sure. But as you can see, we're not getting much out of this. But look over to the right. You see what's going on over there? Exactly what we thought was going to happen, except... the battleship that was in the middle has kind of pushed right up into the middle of everybody. Alright, so I'm already making the decision to try to help that man. I've already started reversing. I'm already rotating the guns. Remember, with this build in particular, we don't have very fast rotation on the turrets. So we're going to try to help. We still have our reload boosters as well. Mogami gets slapped by the key, and we are going to try to punch him as well. You can see he starts to reverse here after beaching. So we just want to get as many shells on target as possible. And that looks pretty freaking solid, to be perfectly honest. He opens up the angle a little bit, and he's lucky to not just be dev struck right there. Like, that little turn that he made at the end where he opened the angle basically could have guaranteed his ultimate demise. Now, this is unacceptable. He is flat broadside to me in a Mogami. I'm being shot at by something with HE on the other side of the map, but it's not really a consequence. But, again, we're not an accuracy build, so unfortunately this Mogami is just going to get away with this. And not only is he going to get away with it, but apparently the key that's directly in front of the man can't kill him either. And I don't understand that one. Maybe he just got really bad RNG. But the key is actually going to fail to kill the guy that we have double Citadel now and left with just enough to continue being a problem. And not only does he manage to not kill the Mogami, but he goes down in the process, which is not ideal, right? There's a lot of bad guys out here, and you can see that there was a Connecticut involved as well. But notice, now that I realize that our team on the left has an advantage, Cruiser is pushing up on the Destroyer. That should be an easy kill for the Destroyer. And then it's just, well, unfortunately, Perfect 10 does kill the Destroyer, but trades himself in the process. Not a bad trade, in my opinion. Getting rid of a destroyer is always going to be beneficial. You'd like to live in that situation if you can. But again, at least he killed the destroyer. I don't have a problem with that. Now, this is why we call this a well-timed push, right? If you look at the map and you see where everybody's at, look at my position and where I'm about to put myself. I am going to put myself in a crossfire between both flanks. Now, this is something that you have to be careful with, because if you're putting yourself in a crossfire situation, you're in a crossfire situation. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm able to shoot at both sides in a crossfire, both sides are capable of crossfiring me. Does that make sense? Okay, I just want to get that out there because a lot of people seem to forget that. A lot of people I see out there, they'll put themselves in a position like this where they can shoot at either side, and then they forget that either side can also shoot them back, right? So what we're doing is we're using the rock initially to limit who can engage us, in hopes that we see the guys on the distance pushing back in, specifically the Mogami and the Connecticut, right? We know they're there. We're just waiting for them to push in. I expected them to push straight into the middle in front of the cruiser that's right there and the battleship. That is not what they end up doing. They end up pushing up the flank. Now here you can see I'm thinking about getting a shot over here at the Mogami. We take the shot, and of course he's going to turn and run immediately out the other direction. Not the best shot by me. Now we have the Connecticut here. We're going to go ahead and use our first reload booster. I know, we managed to get this far into the match and not use a reload booster? Am I crazy? Or just plain stupid? I'll let you guys be the judge. But we get a beautiful look at a broadside Connecticut at range, which gives us the opportunity to Citadel a Connecticut for once. If I was close, you're not Citadeling them. But at range, absolutely can. Now here we have the Eamdracht. I forget what this ship is. I just know that it's been around a few times. So we're going to try to get some shots on him. He's kind of pushing up on my destroyer a little bit. I don't want him here, right? We don't want him around our destroyer. Cruiser versus destroyer equals bad day for destroyer. So instead, we go ahead and we're pushing forward. Notice we're using our engine boost as well here. And he makes the critical error of turning broadside in front of my Jean Bart at close range and pays the price for it as he gets absolutely walloped. Now, as we continue to push, our destroyer's contemplating being crazy here for no reason. I'm over here trying to help the man, and he comes out and starts firing his guns at the Eamdracht. Like, why? But fortunately for him, it doesn't backfire because I'm able to absolutely murder the Eamdracht, getting him out of there. Monarch is almost down as well, so at this point, it's time to turn our focus back towards the right. Now, you'll notice that I managed to push forward far enough that the guys on the right couldn't shoot me either. Now, unfortunately, my battleship has decided that he wants to throw himself in there and be dead. And he doesn't even bother turning to angle or anything. Now, Hipper starts pushing in. We're going to go ahead and take that shot again. Taking a shot at a broadside Hipper is a no-brainer for anything. And then, obviously, now the mines feels like anything that the battleship could do, he can do better. So he does. He just pulls out full broadside in front of everybody. And it's just like, but why? Why is that what you do? You've sat there the whole time, completely okay in your positioning, sitting there, not doing anything. And then the moment that I come over to potentially help you, that's when you decide to YOLO and die. Like, what is the decision making that goes into that battleship and that cruiser's choice right there? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? They were perfectly capable of just sitting where they were and letting the enemy come to them. We have all of the advantages. But slowly, over time, our team has crapped away those advantages. Now, I have 45 seconds left of my engine boost. I'm trying to push up towards the edge of this island because, again, want to limit who can shoot me. I don't care how strong of a ship you are. If you're in a situation where 4 people are capable of just putting all of their firepower on you, you're in a losing situation. I don't care what ship you're in. So, obviously, I want to try to limit who can shoot me. I also want to put myself in a position where I can counter the enemy. And the enemy is just sailing broadside as far as the eye can see. You got Connecticut sitting here full broadside. You got the Hipper playing broadside. You got the Picardie over there sitting broadside. Everybody's broadside. This is like Oprah. And my indecision on who I want to shoot is actually going to hurt me in this situation. Because there are so many people to shoot broadside, I have to prioritize targets. Hipper, as annoying as the Hipper is, it is not my priority. Getting rid of this guy is. Getting rid of a tier 6 battle carrier seems like something that you guys would probably be like, well, I don't understand why you're prioritizing that. The planes, boss, the planes. Remember that, right? Get rid of those planes. It's very strong. Well, you've got to be joking, right? Surely not. That is absurd. But we're going to go ahead and just punish him anyway. Get rid of him, and of course, they get the fire on their way out. We're going to put that out, and we're going to move around the corner. Now, notice the Hipper is alive because he ended up using the Connecticut as Mr. President. You know, we're going to push around the edge, and I'm going to tell my team to get back. We don't need to push these guys. Now, I am going to push these guys because, again, my goal is to make a video. We are winning this match unless my team does something incredibly stupid, which I guess is possible, and so you probably shouldn't do what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want a video. Remember, I do this for content. I know a lot of people seem to forget that sometimes when they talk about me in Discord or they talk about me on Facebook. There's a lot of people that run their mouths about how terrible of a player I am. But they gotta remember, at the end of the day, I'm here to be entertaining. Right? It ain't entertaining if you spend the entire match sitting at the back of the map watching, okay? Sometimes you gotta get up in there, and this well-timed push has worked out absolutely brilliantly up to this point. Now, we knew there were torpedoes coming. We're not dumb. There are 2 cruisers over here with torpedoes. We know that. So we're not gonna just YOLO around the corner willy-nilly, right? We wait. And then once the torpedoes have flown by, then we simply come around the corner and feast on the broadsides. And I'm not gonna lie, I could have played this a lot smarter, but when I see broadside, I see broadside. Now, I know the PCRD is capable of some good things. It's got decent armor. It's got a lot of secondaries. The Hipper's running, which is why we came over here. We're forcing the Hipper out from behind his little island that he's hiding behind. We get just the nastiest salvos you can ask for, except we're not citadeling the PCRD. Now, I can't remember or not if the PCRD actually has a turtleback armor scheme. You know, sometimes I'm pretty good at remembering the armor schemes of most ships that I come up against, but this is a relatively newer ship. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just know that it's broadside, and I'm going to try to hit it as hard as possible for as long as possible. We still have 3 heals, by the way, so if I do get set on fire, I'm not that worried about it. But I make a critical error here. I'm trying to bait this man into shooting my belt, and unfortunately, he does not shoot my belt. He goes for the thinner bow side plating and absolutely cleans my clock. So again, big mistake by me there. And here we see the Blizzy coming around the backside, starting to launch torpedoes for maximum distance. This is perfect. I don't mind this. He's spotting for the team. He's keeping himself out of spotting, you know, distance. Like, if he gets spotted by that PCRD, he's a dead man, right? That Blizzy ain't gonna last long against those secondaries. But keeping his distance, spotting for the team, making sure that he doesn't do anything crazy, like, these are all good things, right? And again, I know that I shouldn't have done what I did, and I explained why I did what I did, and we almost broke 200k. But of course, in true Spartan fashion, we got to leave him with just enough to get out of the way. But either way, I felt like this was a pretty comfortable win for us, so I was like, I'll go in. I'm not that worried. I think our team's going to win this, and in fact, that's exactly what happens. Mogami runs off to the back corner of the map. He's not going to be all that useful for his team, and that's going to allow the D7P to do what D7P do, which is drop bombs on the thing. We've got our battleship over there on the right shooting at him, and then of course the destroyer starts shooting at him as well, with torpedoes already underway, and absolutely hits him with his torpedo strike this time. Beautiful torp strike, and down he goes, leaving just 1 ship remaining and no hope of them winning. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a fun one. 8 citadels, 3 kills, a good showcase of patience and a well-timed push. 197,000 damage, top of the leaderboard, 3,407 base XP. Blizzy, big shout out for not getting yourself killed there. Turpitz also, and to the D7, appreciate you as well for not getting yeeted. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.